The weight of heavy lumber pressured against my splintered, infested hand. The smell of rusted metal and freshly cut wood lingered together as we turned a 10-meter long log to face kilometers of iron rail. Forward! Yelled our squad leader. Our squad was comprised of brothers, not bound by blood or race, but by the struggle that we endured. Drop! He cried. The history books say that the Pacific Railroad was built by hiring people to accomplish the job. In order to hire people, you have to pay them. This was different. Xiao Ming, our squad leader yelled, tell the overseer that our job quota for the day is done. I hurried down the rocky ledge in bare feet, the sharp rocks barely breaking the skin before primeval reflexes jolted my foot upwards, sensing the potential danger. I hurried down to see a man wearing a tan-colored shirt. He wore a sun hat to shield his pale skin from searing sunlight. The man held himself up in a way that suggested he had served the military. On his chest, that he very obviously extended outward, he proudly wore a shiny golden badge to show his superiority. I raised my hand so that I could be granted permission to speak to someone of authority. Permission granted, the overseer grumbled deeply. Sir, our job quota is done for the morning. May we please have lunch? I asked timidly. How much railing did you accomplish this morning? The man asked in a stern voice. Over 100 meters worth of railing. That seems like a reasonable amount. You see, son, I'm generous that way. I only make you do 100 or so meters of railing. The other overseers would make you 10 times that in the morning. Now go, have your lunch. In the back of my head, I knew that the other overseers only made their squad do 1/5 the amount we do. As I turned around, I quickly remembered something. Oh yeah, I quickly said. Our squad requests permission to celebrate Chinese New Year. Denied, the man said. But sir, denied, the man said, raising his voice. Sir, you don't understand. Listen to me, you little runt, the man pulled me by the collar. I said denied, did I not? I don't care about your stupid Chinese New Year. I've got better things to do. Now chop chop, little boy. You have 10 minutes to finish lunch. I climbed up the sharp rocky ledge to bring bad news to my squad. In the camps of the Pacific Railroad, no one wants to be the bearer of bad news. There was a wave of groans that followed the bad news. Does he not fear Nian? I heard one say. Has he no respect for our traditions? I heard another one say. The majority of the squad thought that it was an outrage that the overseer forbade us to celebrate our holidays. What was even more infuriating was that the fact that the overseer himself was on holiday every day he forced us to work here. The squad came to the consensus we would light fireworks in a sign of rebelliousness. It was quiet. Quiet to the point where we could hear a pin fall in the grass 300 meters away. Quiet to the point where only sound was our hushed breathing, sounding like a rasping cry. It was quiet to the point where footsteps sounded like earthquakes. And yet, the night felt so alive. I felt alive. My heart was beating. It felt good. It felt exciting to gamble our pride and possibly our lives. The prize? Not dying. It was worth it. Nian is out there. Guaranteed death over possible death? The red suits that we wore was like a beacon in the night. We crushed up fruit to create paint on our suits so that we were safe from Nian. We trekked down the valley littered with trees to our designated meet point. As soon as we walked into the forest in the valley, I immediately felt something was wrong. It was a feeling. Someone or something was watching us. It was angered and tempted to act on them now. But yet, it wanted them to accomplish this goal. It was taunting them. By exposing a sliver of their presence, enough of them to feel, yet not enough of them to suspect. Someone is there. Stop, I whispered. I regretted that move right away, although all of us stopped. However, whoever it was that was watching us came from the shadows. Put your hands up, a voice yelled. A person in my squad broke off into a run out of fear. Crack! The sound of a whiplash echoed through the valley, followed by a scream of pain and a loud thud. I said denied, did I not? A familiar voice said. There were more and more whiplash noises where the thud noise came from. There were cries of pain. Then it stopped. It was quiet again. That'll teach them a lesson, a voice broke the silence. Everyone go back to your tents or else. The final whiplash echoed through the night. You'll end up like him. We were walking back in disappointment and fear. We feared what our punishment our overseer would give us. The men slowly escorting us back to the camp, back to the horrid place where we are forced to work day and night. Then we heard a deep rumble in the breaking of dawn, a reptilian cry that cried through the valley. It is Nien, a man shouted. Everyone, run for your lives. Keep quiet, little rump, the man said with a whip. Almost like a flash of lightning, a green shadow zoomed past our eyes. The man disappeared within a split second that he readied his whip. The men that were escorting us to the camp were starting to step back hesitantly. Another flash, another man taken down. More and more men were starting to break off into one, but even the fastest of the men were no match for the lightning flash speed of the green reptilian dragon, Nien. Only the ones that were dressed in red were safe from Nien. We released cries of triumph as the sun rose over the mountain. The golden yellow egg yolk color spilled across the blue sky. The sun was blotted out by a shadow in the shape of a dragon. Yet even at such a distance, the dragon seemed like it was looking straight at me. And the craziest thing was, it seemed like it was smiling at me.